This is Ishnai Ciarfox. Welcome to my stream. Yes, the title is true, but right now we're gonna real quickly level up the Dragoon stuff. And probably the astrology stuff. Albrecht is mustering reinforcements for a battle. Ishnai, I am pleased to see that you're in control of the dragon within. Dragon up? Bad joke is bad joke! Nonetheless, I must remind you to remain vigilant at all times. It takes but a moment of weakness for the eye to make you its thrall, but I have never picked up the eye. Now forgive me for this abrupt change in subject, but we have urgent need of your lance. Some days ago, a horde of dragons began wreaking bloody havoc within the Ishgardian territory. An elite regiment of dragoons have been dispatched to deal with this threat. Alas, though they fought bravely, they are sorely outnumbered and are struggling to gain the upper hand. Sorry. Indeed, but moments before you arrived, we sent a request for reinforcements from a unit engaged in a battle north and west of Whitebrim. A fellow dragoon and I will go to their aid, and we should be grateful for your presence. Pray go on ahead, and we shall follow. Anon! You know, I show up right on time, the rules. What's wrong? As, you know, main protagonist. I know my timing is the best. That never existed. Oh, one of the other things I'm gonna try and find is probably to do, unless I have to do other things to unlock it, is start to unlock the beast tribes things. Oh, one of the other things is do a bit more on the Arcanist. But we're gonna trade that in and out of doing the main quest storyline. Just gonna do the first of all the two classes that I plan on continuing to use. So the Dragoon's probably gonna fall to the wave side during after this expansion, and I'm just gonna focus on the Astrologian. Mainly because the Dragoon, just because it's kinda part of this location. Hostile presence. I forgot to summon. Charge! Destruction! Nada. Hi. Anyone else gonna be summoned? I owe you my life. That beast would have torn me limb from limb. I like your weapon. Our lances were not needed, 'twould seem. Such is the might of the Azure Dragoon. You have not pledged allegiance to Ishgard, yet you came to our aid nonetheless. For that we are grateful. Their deaths thus avenged, our comrades may go to their rest in peace, mysterious Dragoon. My lady, I shall attend to the fallen. You're wounded. You're wounded! It's an honor to see you again, my friend. Though it appears I am not remembered, I suspect the armor is to blame. Permit me to introduce myself anew. I am Ishnai of the Order of the Knight's Dragoon, and I had the pleasure of assisting you in your training. As we approached, Sir Albrecht and I bore witness to the final moments of the battle. I could not help but notice that, though you have been instructed in our ways, there is something distinct about the manner in which you fought. I mean, Gridania, Lancer, Abababa. I believe I know the reason why. As an adventurer, you've done battle with the foes in the realm over. Through these many encounters, your techniques have evolved to produce a style that sets you apart from we who fight dragons exclusively. Such insights you must possess. If I may speak frankly, I wish to train under you. Will you accept me as your pupil? I shouldn't be training anybody. You see, a fearsome dragon has been terrorizing Korthus of late. Gralui, there's no Graloli is its name, and I have been charged with leading a mission to slay it. Though I am second in command in the order, I am not confident in my chances against the creature, such as its ferocity and cunning. Don't look at me, I just hit things. If I am to triumph over Graloli, I need to grow stronger, and I believe I can under your tutelage. What do you say? Will you consent to training me? As we teach, so do we learn. Too do we learn. This I know from experience. I wholeheartedly urge you to accept Pretty Ladies as your pupil. You need not give me an answer right this moment. Think on it and let Sir Albert know your decision. Till we meet next. If I become your teacher, you will regret it. Just to make sure you understand this. Not that I'm not a kind leader, I am a forgetful leader and a very, very, how can I put it? Not just forgetful, I am very, harebrained? I mean, like, my mind's dying on words! Yeah, I know I could teleport to Dragon Head, but I mean, it's just kind of the same. So this is less a straight route, but I mean, entertain me for a while. That route has become boring! Fluff, 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 fluff. I am not joining that fate. I am, however, running into that tree because I was looking at something. You know, as you do. Harebrained, featherbrained, birdbrained! I promise, English is my first language. Can't promise anything else on that. Have you made your decision then? Will you agree to teach Pretty Lady? I am grateful. I swear I will not disappoint you. Don't worry, I will. However, I, as the teacher, will definitely disappoint you. With your guidance, I shall put an end to Bitey's reign of terror. Now I shall like nothing more than to begin my training at once, but duty calls. For the time being, I shall endeavor to emulate the deadly lance work I witnessed you employing earlier. I mean, go to Gridania. That's where I learned most of this stuff. They're actually people who were teachers. Pretty Lady is among her very best in recent generations. If you are to train one of her caliber, you yourself must rise to new heights of mastery. Resume your own training and return hither when you're satisfied with your progress. So, of course, thinking on it, this also means that the samurai I need to level up for, next expansion. Ah! Requirements for undertaking subsequent quests get reviewed. Yeah. I'm already there. I'm at 54. Hi! I haven't leveled up at all. Fuck yeah. Greetings, Ishnai. You look very much a teacher today. I haven't changed how I look. That is well, for Pretty Lady is eager for her first lesson. Now you agreed to help her as your accept her as your pupil. I suspect you are not without reservation. You worry whether you will be equal to the task. Well, worry not. I have every confidence in you that you will make a fine mentor. What have you been drinking? I offer you advice, however, that would be patience. Though a pretty lady is a master of her art, it's all she has ever known. As such, it may prove a challenge for her to adapt. And like all of us, she is not without pride, and there will be times when tact is required. I am autistic. I don't understand that word. I mean, kinda. I must also mention that pretty lady is zealous to a fault. I worry she will overexert herself in her pursuit of strength. But I'm keeping you from your lesson. Pretty lady left a word that she will be in the Western Highlands testing her lance against dragon spawn. Seek her out near the pike. By the way, really, eventually, whether it's this stream or Sunday's stream, want to run around and at least get the flying stuff for at least this region. And I've got all the ones that don't involve doing quests, I think. Run in, run in, run in. I know you see me, but I'm not gonna stop. Deep eye. Nope. Have anything to say? Beautiful, isn't the spinning in? Yeah. Still standing there looking at it. Sweetie? Sweetie. Okay. I don't have to face them away from her, so it doesn't matter about those attacks. Hi. How are you? You look well. Owe you a debt of gratitude. Our lessons have not even begun, and already you've seen me on my knees. Can we put it a different way? I mean, you are pretty, but I mean, don't. There's a power dynamic here that I refuse to enable anything like that currently. I've been trying to match what lance work of yours I've seen, but without success. That was how the dragons managed to overwhelm me. Had I but fallen back on my tried and trusted techniques, I would have made short work of their ilk. But what would I have learned then? Nay, I know it is no longer enough. Well, I know this sounds like a strange thing. Why are we going after dragons first of all? When the way I learned was not on dragons, so that you have enough leniency when it comes to things. The war exacts a heavy toll on all of us, but none more than the dragoons. If we are to survive, we must grow stronger. I must grow stronger. Ishnai, will you demonstrate your techniques to me? I will study the movements up close. I suppose you had the right of it. There's no substitute for live foes. Come with me, then. There's a suitable place west of Black Iron Bridge. Well, to be fair, she was on her head to collapse, but she could see me just fine on using my techniques. But I'm not gonna use that term that she said, because I repeat, there's a power dynamic that I don't like to... If she ever becomes my equal, or I stop being her teacher, then I can make any other comments. Pretty lady is just because I can't say her name, and I can't help but think of Chibi Yusa from... Sailor Moon, not because I haven't been watching Sailor Moon recently or anything. Or it's Little Lady, it's not Pretty Lady. Actually, that'd be hilarious if I called her Little Lady. When she's fucking taller than me. Yep. This is the spot. Lie and wait long enough and the dragons will surely appear. What about, I repeat, trying to do it on other things that are not dragons? Okay, fine. So you can see the techniques. When you learn the techniques, you know, through practice on other things, try this again. Waiting. I mean, that's a small one. Good? You good? The techniques you employ are different, not from mine, yet you overcome the enemy with such ease. What is it that separates us so? What is it that you're doing that I am not? Anger, hatred, revenge. Did I hear you rightly? You see no difference between our lance work, but in the course of considering this, you conceived a new technique? Hoorah! And wants to hear more of the marvelous technique you conceived. Way to draw out your comrade's strength. Such an approach has never occurred to me. A small wonder, perhaps, for we dragoons are taught to be relentless in offense. In order to bring down dragons, we must strive to jump higher and strike harder. But in my single-minded pursuit of what I believe to be perfection, to seem I ended up fighting only with my lance. So focused was I upon delivering the next blow, that I rendered myself blind to other possibilities. You have opened my eyes, Ishnai. If I am to transcend my limits, 'tis plain I must cast aside my preconceptions. And maybe stop being angry at everybody, and god damn it! Decided you chose death on this. Hour grows late. I must return to the congregation. Would you care to accompany me? Am I interested to see how your fellow dragoons live? Can I get through that without, you know, ending up being pulled into a different battle? How boring. You live in one place the entire time? God. Not travel around? Welcome to the home of the Dragoons. I had a mind to show you the premises, but my father paid me a sudden visit. This is my father, Mortogans. Father, allow me to present you my mentor, the Azure Dragoon Ishnai. It is an honor and a pleasure to both make your acquaintance. I hope you will forgive me for the inconvenience your plans, but what is a father to do? Dedicated to her duties as she is, my daughter scarcely comes home, so I must go to her. Father, please, we spoke about this. I strive to be a dragoon worthy of the name, as you yourself were. Edie, there has to be a work-life balance. All that I do is to honor you. My child, you would honor me best by taking care of yourself. Well, I shan't overstay my welcome. Seeing you hale and hearty is enough. Till next time. He is so kind to me, even though I share not his blood. Like so many others, I was orphaned by the war. I would have died long ago, cold and alone, and had he not found me and taken me in. All that I have, I owe to him. It was for no other reason than to honor my father that I followed in his footsteps and became a dragoon. But if I am to live up to his legacy, if I am to protect Ishgard as he once did, I must needs grow stronger. And I will, under your sage guidance. I look forward to our lessons to come. You really shouldn't. Ah, the night has slipped my mind. Sir Alberic wishes a word with you. Pray seek him out at the observatorium, because he can't seem to make his way over here at your earliest convenience. Perhaps you have to wander inside. Perhaps after you can have a wander inside the congregation. You could wander in now. Lucy is here! Woo! You and Master Alphino acquitted yourself rather well, by all counts, against 2 of the Heaven Wards. That's an impressive accomplishment indeed. Anything different from me? Reports of Dravian assaults hammer us down without cease. I fear keeping the record of the destruction would be an impossible task. You to say? Sir Emmerich told me. Yep. Your expectations should be as high as the sea level. They told me I was too old to take up arms against a horde, that I couldn't possibly make a difference. It wasn't until the wyverns came that I realized they were right. I mean, I'm sorry. Sorry. Downwind. Sorry. Used to guardsmen over the sophisticate. Force the habit. Carry on. Say what? Was I yelling? Should I yell louder? You trying your hand at a little dragon slaying will be my guess, so long as you're up against it. Those scaly bastards are smarter than you think. I mean, they are very much sentient, but... You think how many times I've had to fly down to the observatorium that I'd remember which direction to fucking go? Hi, how are you? My thanks for coming, Ishnai. 'Tis no urgent matter, but I was wondering about little lady's progress. Tell me, how fares her training? So you met her father. In his day, Mortogans was a dragoon of no small renown. He served Ishgard with valor until he took a grievous wound and was forced to hang up his lance. I'm guessing in his eye. As little lady herself told you, she follows in her father's footsteps. From the first, she exhibited tremendous potential. In all ways, she was Estinian's equal, and the rivalry they shared raised both of them higher. Alas, the eye chose Estinian and not her. Since then, she has taken to training with fever that borders on self-punishment. It is well to strive for greater heights, but a dragoon must never lose sight of his conviction. It's the only thing that shields him from the dragon's wiles. So I beg of you, keep watch over little lady. By your shining example, see to it that she never forgets what it means to be a dragoon. I mean, the thing I see as being a dragoon is stabby, stabby, stab, stab, stab. Sir Albark has received word of an impending offensive. I mean, that seems to be the only thing that's happening. Thank the Fury you're here, but moments ago we received words that the bitey horde is advancing on Ishgard. Even as we speak, little lady prepares to go and meet them on the field. Alas, with most dragoons absent on another mission, I fear she sorely wants for lances. I would have you lend her yours, Ishnai. Pray make haste to the congregation and join her. Didn't I just come from there? Okay, see. Literally. At least I know which one to teleport to. Hi. Ishnai, you've come to aid us. This improves our chances tenfold. Allow me to thank you as well, Mistress Ishnai. I am but a worried father, and it gives me heart to know that the Azure Dragoon shall fight beside my daughter. Though my training is far from over, the situation will brook no delay. We must head off Bitey and his horde before they reach a populated area. It'll be my honor to fight shoulder to shoulder with you. We weren't before. The experience alone will teach me much. Of that I have little doubt. Promise me you'll be careful, little lady. Take no unnecessary risks. Do you understand me? Remember, the dead cannot serve their nation. And what Ishgard needs, above all, are brave souls like you to protect her. Worry not, father. I swear I will return to you. See that you do, my child. Now, before you go, there is something I wish for you to have. The lance Peregrine Green is yours now. Peregrine took! Why, this is the lance that was bestowed upon your forebearer by the Archbishop himself. I am no true child of yours, yet you would entrust me with the family treasure. The fact that he's doing that means that you are a true child of his. I will not betray your faith in me, father. With this lance, I will strike down Bitey and protect Ishgard. Except not with this quest. Brucemont. Little lady, it's time. It's been a while, my friend. I had the honor of overseeing your training when you were but a fledgling dragoon. But now I'm allowed to have my, helmet off. I'll be honored to fight beside you. Comrades, at last report, Bitey and his horde had gained the Western Highlands. We shall lie in wait for them at the pike. With me! See. Now we're willing to actually give you a face. Mistress Ishnai, may I have a moment? This is a moment. Each time I see my daughter off on a mission, we dance this same self-dance. I tell her to be careful, she promised to do so, but I know her all too well. Little lady burns to distinguish herself in battle, that she might repay me and my lady wife a perceived debt. I fear that one day that desire will cloud her judgment, and she will not come home. So I beg you, pray watch over my daughter. Oh, we're back here again. Hi, Lone Wolf. How are you? don't know since you just dropped in whether you're gonna be stuck in an ad break in a second. This is a warning. Born upon a lance. Not here for this one, for once. Alapapa. Nice. Oh, they look like they're fine. They look like they're fine, aren't they? And we were able to repel the first wave, but it cost us dearly. I'm afraid the rest is up to you and little lady. And since Ishnai, we've already suffered heavy losses, but that was the first wave. They come, brace yourself. Protagonist center. Yeah, I know, right? I am here to win the day. You hear me? I think she's doing fine on her own. Don't know why she thinks she needs me. Something big is coming. Oh no! You'll be fine. I believe in you. Pay attention to me. I murder. I murder. I keep murdering. And they keep dying! Well, I mean, murder is involving dying, so I mean... That was the last of them. Yeah, Bitey is nowhere to be was nowhere to be seen. Were the reports mistaken? The person behind us gets eaten. Such a price we have paid, if only for our quarry to elude us. You finally showed yourself. Down, girl. Nope. Down, down, down. Well, she's dead. My first pupil, dead. What is she? Little lady, no! By the Fury, this is disaster. I know not how to say this, but little lady, strong as she is, she cannot have survived that. Here, I discovered this in the aftermath. Tis a fragment of her armor. It must have broken off during the battle. Pray it see it to her father's hands. Knowing him, he'll be at the congregation awaiting his daughter's return. I must rest a while. Pray bring word back to Iceheart. Yeah, I'm sure she's fine. After all, nobody should have trusted me as a teacher. Just throwing that out there. Nobody should have. That was supposed to be a obvious thing. So, about training your daughter. Mistress Ishnai, what happened? Where's my daughter? Normally attached to the bottom rim of a blessed breastplate to protect the wearer from deadly thrusts to the buttocks. This collet appears to be detached from Sir Little Lady's suit of armor. Yeah, let's see what happens. A scrap, a piece of her armor. But why bring it to me? No! I refuse to believe that Little Lady is gone. It's too early to know for certain. Tell me everything that happened. Everything. So she leapt upon the dragon, piercing its hide, after which the creature carried her westward. If none saw her fall, it means she may have managed to safely dismount. There's a hope still. If Little Lady is out there, I shall not rest until I find her. Ishnai, I trust I can rely upon your aid. Let us speak further at the observatorium. Why not here? Why not here? Why do I have to keep going there? Literally, you are right here. It's not like I have to go see you there, since that's where you are. Ah! It's not like she's gonna be in this area, she's gonna be in the other area anyways. Well, I mean, I'm not surprised with how big the game still is, and the fact that there's still waiting lists and all other stuff. I mean, there's queues. Without further ado, let us consider a course of action. As Montoganes dares to hope, if Little Lady is not shaken off Bitey's back, there's a chance she still lives. Ah. Nice. They're doing it before the servers become taken over. She will have ridden the dragon until such time she's on opportunity to dismount. The question is where. Worst possible outcomes is she's been taken deep into the dragon-ruled lands, far away from her allies. While I pray that this is not so, we must be prepared for anything. Little Lady is one of our very best, and Ishgard can ill afford to lose her. For the nation's sake, and that of her father, let us find her and bring her home. I will track Bitey Bitey's movements in order to ascertain little lady's location. Like as not, the search will take us into the heart of enemy territory. Pray keep your lance arm honed, for we shall soon have need of it. Hoorah! Alright, and then we're gonna do the astrology, and then we're gonna go back to the main quest. I mean, they're not doing the problem that they did with, I guess, Helldiver 2, where they didn't have enough servers when they first opened, so... Yeah, I want to. I don't have the kind of money. I have good news and bad news. Good news is preparations for the synopsis on Charlian astrology has been progressing smoothly, as we have expectedly encountered very little resistance from the Vault. They have even gone to the trouble of securing us a spacious venue for the event. Bad news is, the spacious venue in question lies in Falcon's Nest. Lest you wonder, I speak of the same frigid building site in the middle of nowhere that you will doubtless have heard so many good things about. Yes, my friend, that is Falcon's Nest. Yet I suppose this may be a blessing in disguise. I am just not certain what that blessing might be. Perhaps we should all make for the hamlet to see. I don't think so. Here, the roast yeti they serve at Falcon's Nest is sublime. So there's that. Ah! Probably should. Things. Anything good? Hi, Olivia. All to set us up for failure. Damn them all. Greetings, Ishnai. It appears that not only are symposium to be held in a tiny hamlet miles away from civilization, crawling with people who cannot even spell astrology, let alone grasp how it works, but no one in the whole town has ever been informed of our arrival. Even the three of us have been spending the last bell, speaking to whomever will listen, inviting him to attend the event so he won't be speaking to an empty forum. Oh, worry not, my friend. We have saved the Northern District just for you. Wink. Bitchin'. Wait. Do you have anything else to say? None of us have ever come across a single astrologian, but then again, perhaps they're all hiding in the northern part of the hamlet. No, I did not think so either. Hey, is the reason why you're not going towards the northern part of the hamlet is because it's closer to where you could be attacked? Just asking. Charlie in astrology, eh? Are you a heretic? Because you're talking like one. There's only one kind of astrology in Ishgard, and that it ain't the heathen kind. Considering you are an unbeliever, I suppose the knights might allow you to yap and yammer, but cause too much commotion and you'll disappear like that other lad. Now, when was that? Bloody heretics. An outrider! His wounds look deep. Is there a cutter nearby? No, but I can heal him. Please, I have 5 children! Okay. What is this sorcery? My cuts, they knit themselves. Are you a healer, adventurer? If so, I have another request of you. There are others in my scouting party. We were all wounded, some of us more gravely than others. I fear that my fellow knights may be in grave danger. Would you seek them out and tend to them like you did? I will report to Sir Redwald, but fear that by the time he can muster reinforcements, several men will have perished. Did you see his wounds last? If that poor bugger was the only one of his party to make it back to Falcon's Nest, I shudder to think the condition of the others. You must hurry, healer, or the wolves will eat well tonight. What were you saying about me being a heretic, bitch? What was that? What was that? You suddenly changed your mind when I can heal things? I'm not angry. I'm disappointed. Actually, I shouldn't have expected much. I mean, the death is a cure. I mean, it's not a amazing cure, but it is a cure. Yeah, I've gotten all the ones that don't involve quests. But I'm planning maybe to do that on Sunday. Find a slow-footed knight and slay the heretics harrying him. I'll make it there eventually with this slow as fuck chocobo. We'll make it! Ba-ba-ba! Yes! He looks fine, doesn't he? See? He looks fine! He's not on the ground. I mean, he's kneeling, but I mean, like, ground as in... laying down. I beg you, slay these enemies by the fury, so they might die knowing the bastard suffered the same fate as I. You're fine. Everything's fine. You're fine. How did you? It was as if I was never dealt a single wound. What manner of magic do you wield, friend? I mean, I could say I'm a white mage, but I'm not. Astromancy? But I thought stars served only to grant us insight into the Horde's movement. Why are there not more astrologers on the field? You and your companions are in Falcon's Nest to discuss that very topic? Perhaps I can persuade others in the garrison to attend. Now I must hurry back to the hamlet. My captain will want a full report of today's happenings. Motherfuckers thought that they'd keep us down. We're just proving how amazing we are! Where have you been? When you did not return, we visited the North Gate and found the area astir with night activity. You left the hamlet to aid wounded scouts? You could have been killed! Or eaten! Or killed then eaten! Or eaten then killed! What is this? You say your display of astromancy has impressed the knights into attending our event? This may work to our advantage. If the knights begin clamoring for astrologers to be assigned to their ranks, then this team just might listen. Let us find these good men and inform them that the synopsis is about to commence. And what do you want to say? Isn't it obvious I'm watching for my birds, but a better vantage point to spy our enemies from the sky? Okay. I knew it. Empty. Well, except for that poor sod who had the ill fortune of drawing stairwell watch duty. We made it to look a fool. Are we? Balls, horde balls. Not a single person came. I told you this was a terrible plan. Use the confusion from the jam-packed synopsis to approach the target, she says. You'll have her out of the hamlet before her companions know she's even gone, she says. Even a blind babe could have seen that no one would gather for a talk on astrology in the middle of swiveling. The astrologer who attended my runes. As you can see, both me and my fellow knight made swift recoveries. Thank you for your wonderful magics, of course. Reinforcements from the garrison never arrived? Reinforcements? Oh, yes. I spoke with Sir Redwolf myself. Perhaps he felt there was no need for reinforcements after I convinced what an able healer you were. Yes, that's it. That's most certainly the reason, yes. As much as we'd like to attend, the captain has already assigned us to another mission. I apologize to you and your companions. Perhaps we can make it to the next synopsis. Carry on, then. That's it, then. The vault wins. Don't think of such as Livia. There's but one hurdle we must leap. The vault wants us to stop and turn around, and they'll continue placing hurdles before us until we do. But we cannot let that discourage us. We must carry on until we reach our destination, or they run out of hurdles. Ah, you cry over hurdles. You know not how lucky you were. Did you come for the synopsis? No, I wouldn't let anybody see me at that gathering. I'd be branded a heretic and sent to witch drop, or worse, they'd just slit my throat and toss me out to the beast. Just like as they did with the other astrologian from the old world. The other astrologian? When was this? When you reach my age, all the summers melt together. My hair still had color, so it must have been a score. At least a score, mayhap more, mayhap less. If there was an astrologian who was, but that was a long time ago. It could not have been anybody you knew, like my father. We cannot dwell on the past. We must needs find a way to interpret the cards we have been dealt, so that they might benefit the present. Our present. No, it could have been anyone I knew. It could not have been anyone I knew. I never had the chance to. You're right. Quinard. We mustn't let the vault or the bandits or closed mind prevent us from achieving what we came here for. The stars will point the way. Except right now it's cloudy and snowy, and yeah. We'll help the people of Ishgard see that as well. Do I have to go back to— yes, I do. God damn it! We go back and forth, we go back and forth, we go back and forth. Lady Leva did not take the old man's recollection of the slain astrologian well at all. I understand that hearing a fellow colleague's death might unnerve someone, but you think she had lost her father. Oh. Oh! Quinard, what have you done? I will not live down this offense. You see— oh, good that you remember now. The astrologer who he spoke just so happens I knew him well. His name was Rufin. He was a friend and confidant when I studied in Charlian, my only friend. He followed me back to Ishgard when my stay in the city-state was cut short by the Exodus. His dream was to rekindle interest of the forgotten techniques which gave rise to Ishgardian astrology. But this was a time when the Holy See was even more opposed to foreign ideas than they are now. That evening I discovered him bleeding at his bureau, and it was one of the saddest in my life. I guess you blocked it out. But even at the hour of his death, Rufian remained strong, and he made me promise that I would not let his dream fade because of the closed-minded. Not that that's gone particularly well thus far, yet perhaps if we reach a greater accord with the stars, they'll show us the way forward. Yes, that sounds likely. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna get, I'm kind of thirsty, and I want milk instead of what I have right now, so be right back. I'm back. Back. Alright, hi Quinard. As appearance. Both went and outdid themselves. Location for our next synopsis: the Convictory, a makeshift camp for a band of bickering knights. I've spoken at length with Lady Livia how we might handle this second inconvenience, so not to meet with the same fate as we did in Falcon's Nest. I fear the worst, but the lady believes that we may be approaching this all wrong. That we should embrace the situation and use it to our advantage. I believe she is merely unaccustomed to the thin alpine air, and her wits not in order. Perhaps we'd make for the camp and see for ourselves. Really? Bitchin', I'm gonna use the fucking Chocobo for this. There's no. Just no. Besides, using the Chocobo thing can fly, I think, so it's a lot straighter. See? So much faster! Holy fuck! Also, I don't have to do anything, sit back and drink. And pet Anubis, who says hi, by the way. I remembered to turn the sound back. Yes, I did. Do, do, do. So much faster. Oh my god. Blur Express. Hardy har har. That means we kill polar bears, I'm guessing there. We arrived not moments ago to find this. What infuriating names happen here? Tread lightly, Ishnai. It's not the work of bandits. Vampirians' hurts were dealt by the convictors. You were assaulted by men sworn to protect us. This is madness! The Vault led the knights to believe that a party of astrologers would be arriving to aid them. And scoring the location of the Horde's next attack, they took out their frustration on poor Quinapriarian when they learned that I can foretell the whims of a dragon as well as I can those of Juniquard. But no, we must not let them discourage us. If words have no weight with these men, then let our magics do the speaking. Be swift death, that's all I ask. I mean, I'll think about it. You're astrologian, you can't heal people, not what astrologians do. I mean... do a lot of things. It's the rhythms you gotta watch for. Easy to miss when it snows, then you know it, the Horde is upon you. May the stars heal your wounds. Close your eyes, soon it'll all be over. Better. Oh, he does know how to heal things. Say, ouch, me leg, just cut the damn thing off. I cannot take more of this. The pain is gone. How did you... Leave me, I'm not much longer for this realm. I mean, stop being a... I'll say... They stopped being a drama queen. My wounds, it was as if they were never there. Wait, who's gonna believe that I slew a dragon if I don't have the wounds to show it? I don't know whether to thank you or slit your throat. Though I suppose I wouldn't be able to do either if you hadn't healed me with those queer magics. So this day I see fit to forgive you. Oh good, I'm gonna slit your throat in your sleep. That's how that sounds like, right? You. What's wrong, Livia? Have you tapped too much deep into your mental reserves? Perhaps you could take a moment of respite. That blood's not the knight's. Ah, the loyal laptop. Without you to state the obvious, where would your masters be, pray tell? You again. One might think that these markings would portray my identity, but you Eorzeans have a singular capacity to look without seeing. I'm amazed you're not constantly wandering into bonfires or off cliffs. I mean, shut up. I have grown weary of this masquerade. I am done with entrusting my fate to this realm's blundering mercenaries. My name is Silly, and I'm here to take Lady Livia into custody so she can be transported back to Charlia and tried for her crimes. Taken into custody? On whose authority? You are here without permission of the Forum, performing acts which amount to treason. Your father has already been detained and questioned. I'm giving you the opportunity to turn yourself in and put an end to this farce once and for all. Do as I say and no one will be harmed, yourself included, Lady Livia. But Lady Livia, I thought you and your grandfather were dispatched on an official expedition. It seems that Livia has not told you anything. Do you know it was her father who was killed nearly 15 summers past? 15 summers past, Quinard. Your adventurer friends seem to already to put two and two together. Why did she tell you earlier? I cannot fathom. What are these leaving you out of, Quinard de Dundare? I but silence. This is my warning. When you see me again, you'll either give yourself up or you will die by my hands. Think on that, Livia. Ishnai, Lady Livia's wound is deep. I do not believe I can heal it on my own. Lend me your aid. I can do it without any help. Piss off. I can do it on my own. I have the skill on my own. Cast your magic. We're fine. Fine! I can't talk to her. Fine. She's 15. Thank you, my friends. For someone who claims she was hired to bring me back to Shalian, her aim was quite true. Lady Livia, this silly claims that you're not here with the blessing of the Forum. Is that so? Why did you not see fit to mention this? My grandfather knew the Forum would never allow us to come to Ishgard, and that their contemplation over the matter was merely a tack to stall and discourage us. The stars had spoken with my grandfather, and he was not about to turn a deaf ear to them. I kept silent because I did not wish to let the petty politicking of men thousands of miles to the north stand in the way of our dream. Our dream to spread the word of Charlian's astrology. And such was my father's dream, until he was killed by it by closed-minded peasants. But Ruffian never once spoke ill of those he wished to enlighten, even at his end. How did you know my father's name? I hate both of you for being... You and your father became close friends when I was in Charlian. When the Exodus forced me to return home, he asked if I could accompany me, saying he wished to try and convince those who once believed in the star's power to look in the skies again. We did it for several moons. My countrymen were deeply skeptical and slow to warm the idea of heathen magics. Some were even rude, but he never gave up on them, right up until he was... I was there during your father's last moments. I heard a commotion from his room late one night, and went to check, only to find him bleeding and slumped over his diary, which he was writing when he was attacked. With his last strength, he handed me the diary and asked I do not blame my people, that I continue our work. I believe this belongs with you now. Why are you holding the book like that? I do not know if I could forgive those who killed my father. I do not expect you to forgive us, but knowing that he did, even at the moment of his death, perhaps will help you one day understand. You have always reminded me of Rufin, even before I knew he was your father. Your passion for your discipline equals his own, or maybe even exceeds it. Father, did you know that what fate awaited you in this realm? Did you see all this? Did the stars have you merely pave the way for me? If they did, then I shall not allow anyone to stand in your way. You're right, good man. So I'll allow this breach of etiquette, but if you fail to address Lady Livia properly again, I'll have you spit shining the privy back at the Dundare Manor. Oh, leave him be, Quinard. Without Quinperian here, I would have been tied up and shipped back to the old world moons ago. The stars have him here with me. It's not going anywhere. Neither am I. I'm done with symposiums. It's not what my father wanted. He came not to speak to astrology. He came here to use it. And so that is what I shall do. There are still many convictors who will benefit from these magics. And what better way to convince the people of your greatness than by assuring they remain long enough to sing your praises? I mean, that's something. Jen, Will you tell me of my father? Jean, I guess. I would be delighted, my lady, unless, that is, you mean now, as I have prior engagement with a pair of lovely baronesses from the house of Dresmel, and I do not wish to keep them waiting. God! Ah! A prior arrangement. Of course he has. Suppose my father's journal will have to suffice till then. I accidentally hit the wrong one? Yes, I did. Right, boyo. I think that my old friend Rufin may have seen what grim fate awaited him in this guard, but chose to come anyways, knowing that it would inspire both me and his daughter. God, sometimes these celestial machinations are simply too grand to grasp. However, if it is as we believe, then we must, as Quinperian so bluntly stated, make sure that naught disrupts us from our path from that faith. Perhaps it's time I revealed to you a more powerful form of Malefic, so that you might be better prepared for the trials that are to follow. Why didn't you teach me this earlier? Oh, that furrow upon your brow suggests you could have used this spell earlier in your training. In retrospect, I would be inclined to agree. I'm gonna hit you, and I don't know when I'm gonna stop. I'm teleporting to last vigil. Talk to Alphino first. Let us hear what the Count has to say. Ah, there you are. Sorry for cutting your reunion with General Radabon short. I wouldn't have bothered you, but the city is awash with rumors of another Dravian attack, and Lord Hoshafal was desperate to get a hold of you. Speaking of whom, he and the others were waiting for you inside, so you better head in. Everyone, we can talk later. Hi. Welcome, Mr. Yes. Will I read this aloud, or will you talk for it? You will let me read it aloud. My friend, I thank you for answering our call with such a courtesy. I am sure you are now aware that the Dravians are once more gathering for war. Mistress Ciarfox, Master Livier, I forgot how to say it already. I must apologize for this abrupt summons, but we thought it best to have Mistress Tataru contact you by the most direct means available, because we never seem to use it in other cases. When the observatorium's bells toll, 'tis a warning that cannot be ignored. The Holy See has ordered that we make ready for battle. In case you haven't heard, a band of trappers returning from the west claimed they saw a cloud of dragons big enough to dim the midday sky. Nidhogg's minions gather once more for war. But I would not have you take up arms in another of our conflicts. When first you came to Ishgard, I offered you my protection. If I cannot ensure your safety here, I cannot well accept your aid, much less ask for it. Scions of the Seventh Dawn, you're faced with a choice: to remain in a besieged Ishgard or seek sanctuary elsewhere. I will not presume to influence your decision, but I must ask you make it swiftly, lest our enemies force your hand. Why are you asking? For once, you're actually asking me what I want! We already know the answer, but... How many dragons would it take to darken a midday sky, do you think? 1,000 more? Too many at any rate. I confess I know not where else you might seek sanctuary, but few places are like to be more perilous than a city under siege. The observatory and bells have told. Either flee this place or make ready for war. Violence! The coming of the Horde spells ruin for Ishgard, but her knights shall fight to the last to shield her citizens from harm. If you want to get out, Tataru, you can. What will become of this place and us? You can't fight. Get out. Okay, no, same thing. Though we flee to the ends of the world, 'twould seem that no place in this troubled age is free of strife. I'm quite sure that nowhere is, even if it's any age. Once more the Horde descends upon Ishgard, and once more her wary defenders must take up spear and bow. The Count would have us seek shelter from the storm, but I, for one, grow tired of running. If we were to shine the light of dawn, we must do so in the sight of our fellow man, not hunkered in a hole. Yeah, but are you gonna fucking fight in this? What do you say, Ishnai? Let's stay and fight. Then fight we shall. Never let it be said we abandoned our allies in their hour of need. However, our allies are more than willing to do that to us, apparently. Delivering how? The choice we make this day may have grave implications for our order. It's only right that Tataru should have a say. Come, let us all meet outside and discuss the path that lays before us. Violence, 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 violence. I mean, I don't have a problem. Shut up. Violence. Alright, Tataru. Oh, okay, same thing. Do I read this aloud also?
Ishgard cannot well endure another assault. Even should her knights succeed in turning back the Horde, the casualties will be catastrophic.
Good that I don't have to read this aloud.
But what other choice do we have? It's not like we can talk it over with them. Dragons and men aren't exactly on speaking terms.
Yeah, but we aren't... Well, A, I'm not a man, in the sense of I'm not a Eldian or a hero, whatever the two races that mostly stay up here. Second of all, I have no no stake in this fight, and I've been an ambassador envoy person before.
With certain notable exceptions.
You don't mean Iceheart?
Nah.
When last you spoke with her, she lamented her crimes, did she not?
Yes.
Then there remains a sliver of hope. If we can persuade Iceheart to act as our intermediary, we may yet be able to convince Nidhogg to abandon his bloody course.
I'm quite sure we're still murdering the Nidhogg, but...
If there is to be a meeting, I would accompany you.
Hi, Estinian!
Estinian?
Good that you're listening in.
Even with your intermediary, Nidhogg's blood rage may render him deaf to reason.
I'm fine!
However,
I'm a
the
dragoon!
mere attempt may afford our forces precious time to prepare. Of course, you might also consider a more direct approach to ending this conflict. With the power of the Eye at my disposal, and the vaunted strength of the Warrior of Light, we could conceivably slay the beast outright.
Yeah, but what would that do but create more strife? Anger more people.
If we are to risk a face-to-face meeting with the Dread Worm, I, for one, would feel safer in the company of the Azure Dragoon.
What about
However,
me, bitch?
I could only turn to your lance if my words failed to find their mark.
I'm an Azure
Is
Dragoon
that
too!
clear?
Hello!
Perfectly. I shall assume that Iceheart enjoys similar diplomatic protection until instructed otherwise.
I hate both of you.
A word of advice. Think carefully before divulging the particulars of this plan to Sir Emmerich. 'Twould not do to have the Lord Commander accused of consorting with heretics.
Indeed. I thank you for your counsel, Estinian. We shall be honored to have you with us.
Yay!
I am glad to be of service.
You've chosen a difficult road. Yet even should we succeed in winning Iceheart to our cause, our plans for parley will swiftly come to naught should the Holy See decide to strike first against the Horde. We must petition the Lord Commander's aid ere we set forth. I only hope Sir Emmerich will be willing to muzzle Ishgard's forces on the strength of our vague assurances. Oh, it's okay. I'm main protagonist. Laru, I would ask that you remain at Fortomp's Manor and inform the Count of our decision. Tell him that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn mean to do all in their power to ensure that Ishgard and her people survive. Yes, sir. Why are we going that way when the other thing's the other direction? I think... Yeah, it's the other direction, isn't it? Or is it? I don't know. I don't know where things are. Yes! Also, let us talk about this in broad, you know, company of everybody else in the middle of the... Oh, we're gonna actually go up to his office? Cool! I mean, everybody else get out. Would you speak with the Lord Commander? Sorry, make it quick.
I want the defenses of the outer ward rechecked. See to it that the ballistas are in good repair and supplied with enough ammunition for a prolonged siege.
At once, my lord.
Is there a reason why that desk is so big other than to say we need a desk that big?
Ah, 'twould seem I have visitors. And unlike those messing beyond our walls, these ones are welcome.
Don't worry about... Yeah, I know, right? Kinky. And thank you for welcoming us.
Pray forgive us for interrupting you in the midst of your preparations, Sir Emmerich, but our suit concerns the impending assault. To speak plain, we believe there is a chance the invasion might be halted before it even begins. I can divulge little more at this time, but I must nevertheless request that you advise the Holy See to refrain from launching any preemptive sorties whilst we seek to put our plans in motion.
I will gladly lend my support to any endeavor that could spare the blood of my countrymen, but I would know more of the cause you would have me champion.
It's
Will you
overcompensating.
not share aught of this mysterious undertaking?
I'm betting that the I guess Lord Commanders of days of old wanted a bigger and bigger desk, and like slowly as the, you know, generations went down, the desk just kept getting bigger and bigger, and now he's stuck with this huge fucking desk.
Know that I have offered my lance to aid in this endeavor. I cannot claim that its success is assured, but our actions should serve to delay Nidhogg's advance at the very least. Which is more than can be said for the ill-conceived counterattack advocated by the sea's more vocal crusaders. They offer glorious death, but little hope of victory.
Gonna believe that Azure Dragoon
Their
and not
proposal
me?
does not inspire confidence. Our resources should rightly be spent shoring up the city's defenses. The Azure Dragoon and the Warrior of Light sallying forth together to face the dread
I'm a
worm
Azure Dragoon too! I am literally in the job description. Currently that job I have the soul stone and everything!
I must admit, the mere thought of it does much to dispel my misgivings. Go then. Carry out your plan. I shall do what I can for you within the Holy See.
Talk to him before I'm kicked out? The answer is no. Istinian. I would say this for your plan. It has made keeping secrets from the Holy See seem almost entertaining. Bitch, I love pissing off theocracies. Thank you. And I also love killing gods, but I mean, that's most, you know, Asian RPGs. Having secured Sir Emmerich's support, we may proceed without fear of a preemptive Ishgardian attack, which is not to say we can afford to dither. History tells us that the Dravians will attack as soon as their horde reaches a critical size. Before that happens, we must track down and win over the Lady Iceheart and locate and parley with Nidhogg. In short, time is against us. If you're ready, Estinian, let us be about our task. Hello, Knights of the Round. Don't make me read this aloud. I will pick the worst voice possible for the Pope. Like, the most
Such
obnoxious.
Commotion.
Yes, Your Eminence. The bells of the Observatorium warn of our enemy's approach.
So, the dragons are coming.
Oh, winter's coming. Whips.
Let them come. In their hundreds and their thousands. With the divine blade in our hands, we shall rend their flesh and drown the heretics in their master's blood. Even Nidhogg and his foul brood shall be powerless to resist us. And when we have rid the world of their pestilence, we shall turn our attention to our Ascian allies.
Yeah, allies.
See that they are suitably rewarded for their invaluable assistance.
If I may, Your Eminence, the Paragons wield powers strange and unknowable. Can we be certain that they will not see through our deception?
Oh, I saw through it from the very beginning. Mainly because you're the Pope.
Certain of naught save the righteousness of our cause. If you would be a true leader of men, you must possess conviction as well as caution. We seek to excise the root of an evil that has blighted us for 1,000 years. The risk is worth the reward.
And what of Estinian and this Warrior of Light? They have plans of their own.
Yes, to kill both of you. I mean, eventually. I'll get around to it.
Leave them to their purpose. We must each play the role we have been given. You and your chosen brothers, most of all.
For the glory of King Thordan.
Why am I getting a wind up? Perfect for internal summits, family get-togethers, pre- or post-battle gatherings, or any other occasion where the recapitulation of a past. Use this item to acquire a wind-up of Alphano. Why though? Before set forth, we must needs inform Tataru of our plans. The model P. I guess. Then I shall wait for you at Saint Renet's forum. Tell your friends you may be some time. The road you have chosen is neither short nor easy. This is not a bad plug. Of that I need no reminding. Come, Ishnai, let us have forth to Fortemps Manor. You think I'm joking? There are like so many like if you have like a politician you don't like, there is a butt plug that has been made. Humanity is such a strange thing. Ah. Our course is set, Tataru. May be some time before Ishnai and I return to Ishgard. Well, just you be careful, alright? Oh, don't worry about me. I'll be busy listening out for news of our lost friends. If anyone can find them, it's you, Tataru. Farewell for now. Oh, and before you go, you must put this on, Alphino. I made it specifically. No, I couldn't possibly. Why are we doing this in the hall? Why? Or, I mean, does he not get a room of his own? Like, at least take it out of the... I like it, though. The 12, it fits perfectly. But the quality is rather good. I'm glad you like it. I've been practicing my needlework while listening to the rumors and the like. A good receptionist is always learning new skills. My thanks, Tataru. Whatever else awaits me on the road, I shall not fear the cold. Took him long enough. 'Twas the least I could do. Now I must be getting back to the tavern. I'll never catch up with all the gossip. Best of luck on your journey. I repeat, did we have to undress him and redress him in front of me? And the servants over there? And the please forgive my eyesight? 'Tis the very face of fire and ruin that must remain calm and collected. Hiya, Mari! How are you? Still here? I was under the impression you had already embarked on your journey. Do you require any assistance? I'm good. I don't consider him old enough yet for this in front of me. Give him another expansion. Give him till the end of this expansion, then I think it's like been a year, and then I feel like he's finally reached adulthood. They never actually give an official age for him, do they? No. This new attire will serve you well in the bitter cold of Corthus. I still have to thank Tataru properly on our return. I mean, boys gotta grow up. Yeah, have you said your farewells then? Aye, we are ready to depart. I suggest we begin our search for Lady Iceheart without delay. Very well, but she will provide an elusive quarry. Where do you intend to start? I beg to differ. She seems to run into me more than I seem to run into her. I don't know, though, whether they would or not, now that I think about it. Also, if I remember, their grandfather wasn't particularly tall either, though it might be because he was hunched over. I don't know. In the absence of any fresh intelligence on, Sal's movements, I propose we pick up trail where she was encountered last. The course is Western Highlands. Let us speak with Sir Redwald, then. As the commander of Falcon's Nest, it is likely he will know if there's any heretic activity that's been reported in the area. Yay! Hi, Redwald, how are you? Well, well, Mistress Ciarfox, what brings you back to Falcon's Nest? Judging by the company you keep, it can be no trifling matter. The Azure Dragoon, I know. I'm also an Azure Dragoon! Of course, but I don't believe I met this young gentleman. Alphon Livier, at your your service, and if you're not mistaken to the gravity of our mission, Sir Redwald, I'm sure you're aware, the Observatory has warned of the Dravians gather for another assault. We believe there may be yet another way to avert the coming conflict, but only if we can find the elusive Lady Iceheart. Thus we have come to Falcon's Nest in hopes of acquiring the latest intelligence on the heretics' movements. See, then you would be best served by speaking directly to my men. A patrol is due to return from its sweeping of the surrounding lands at any moment. You may also wish to question the knights assigned to pick over the remains of the heretic refuge in Gorgon Mills. It's possible they have unearthed information that could be a use of you. Mistress Ciarfox knows well the place I speak of, for it was she who first discovered it. Let us divide our forces, then. You will drag me to the farthest... I will go to the farthest ends of everything, because... See! We'll visit this refuge! When I complete my inquiries, I'll join you there. See! I have to go to the very end! Wise use of our time. You can jump further, since apparently you're the Azure Dragoon, and I'm just here. You know, since I am not trained as a dragoon or anything, I'm just wearing this outfit because snark Hyastinian. As agreed, I will stay and await the return of the patrol while the two of you visits the heretics' refuge. When I've completed my inquiries, I'll join you there. Well, probably he has a better way of talking to them than I do. Yes. Running, 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 running. Ember of spiked butt? I'm just gonna keep running. Running, running, running. Make it there eventually. Within this century, maybe. Who knows? I make no promises it'll be in this century, actually, now that I think about it. Surprised how much, like, usually it was always healers that was on the lookout, but it's continuously been tanks on the duty finder. Yep. Running, running, running. Cat. Fuck yeah. If I didn't know any better, I could get off this bird and walk faster. And Alphon managed to get here. Alphino managed to get here before me, and bitch didn't take you with him. Just a simple farmhouse. It makes... I think this doesn't look like a simple farmhouse. Makes me wonder what other innocent facades the heretics have chosen to hide behind. It does not look like... I mean, look at it! Like, it has a fucking tower! Mr. Ciarfox, our findings, you say? Well, there is something of a tale there. Oh, do tell. No sooner have we chanced upon a promising-looking leaf of letters, we were ambushed from the shadows by great white beasts. Shame. 'Twould seem the heretics foresaw our coming and left behind their pets to discourage further investigation. Several of our number were badly wounded. And you cannot carry out your duties until the creatures are slain. We have not the time to wait for reinforcements. Let us deal with these pets ourselves, Ishnai. You mean I will deal with these pets? Right? Right? Ah. Oh dear, the creature took me by surprise. Forgive me, until my hand stops shaking. I fear I shall provide more of a hindrance than a help. You haven't been on a battlefield, have you, sweetie? Also, how did you not guard out there? That's a polar bear. How do you not know polar bears? Do you not know the creatures that are around you? Go ahead when you're certain the rest of these things have been slayed and notify them. Like, literally, it's not like it's a mysterious creature here. It's a fucking polar bear. Tamed warbear! Even I, who has not grown up in this area, know that this is a polar bear and a war bear. God. Sweet summer child, you okay? You better? I hear frightening growling from below. You've encountered more of the beasts, I take it. I mean, yes, but they're no longer there. I mean, alive. No worries. Hi, Estinian. Got here just in time. My inquiries availed me not. The patrol leader has little to say beyond which of his extremities is the frost had bitten the hardest. The beasts are slain then? My thanks, Mr. Ciarfox. We may return to our duties without fear of a mauling. Expedition leader is a promising lead to help you in your aid for search for Lady Iceheart. You wish to track down Lady Iceheart, is this not so? The records we discovered ere those beasts mauled my comrades appear to be somewhat matter of correspondence. We had not the luxury of perusing their contents more closely, intent as we were on surviving an onslaught of fang and claw. Bell Ranger, those apostles contain more than just friendly salutation betwixt lonely heretics, though will it be in a language that's not coded? My interrogation of the patrol provide fruitless. Either we divine some clue from these letters, or we will wander the snowfields and pray to the gods lead us the right to Iceheart's door. 'Tis hardly a choice at all. I am a protagonist. Praying to the gods and wandering seems to do a lot of work for me. That y'all are looking so hard. I found some few of these letters. Let us gather a reasonable stack and see what secrets the expedition captain can wring from the collected correspondence. The letters were neat piles just here, but 'twould seem the skirmish with the beasts have scattered them rather thoroughly. Yeah, why are y'all standing here, just waiting for me to do all the work? Where are those damnable pages? I'd rather have battle 2 scores aves than this Where? I blind? I mean, yes, but yes. Up here somehow? Yeah, it did. How though? Yes, you lazy asshole. Splendid. Added to the contributions that Master Olivier and Sir Estidian, we now have more than a dozen. When the fuck were they doing shit? What we have here, then, every one of these pages is a record of dealings between Gorgon Mills heretics and their fellows at Off Amphitheater. The requests are for foodstuff, clothing, and all manner of provisions. Iceheart's follow must have inhabited the ruins we thought abandoned. The request for food. Off is taken from the dragon's tongue, roughly means eternal circle. It is little wonder the heretics thought to return to the place. Level none. I mean, I don't remember if it was 80 or 90 when I did them, but yeah. Off Amphitheater, the very place where you witnessed the manifestation of the primal Shiva, was it not? Yes, and she did not step on me, and I was very, very depressed. If that's our destination, the journey will be long indeed. The amphitheater lies on the other side of the treacherous track of ice and snow that cannot be swiftly crossed. And we must place our faith in the Aethernet. As you recall, our dear friend, Moon Brea succeeded in recreating the Alpha Beacon after it was destroyed by Lady Iceheart. At the time, it was assumed that the resultant aetherite would only be temporarily viable, but given that the heretics of Gorgon Mills seem to have been in regular contact with their brethren at the amphitheater, I wager it still functions. Suggest we make an aetherite for the aetherite within Snowcloak without delay. Correct me if I'm wrong, Estinian, but in the course of mapping the Snowcloak tunnel system, a passage was discovered leading out to the Western Highlands, was it not? Might be possible for us to reach the aetherite from this side of the wall. It should. House Dunader posted soldiers at the Western Highlands entrance after the tunnels were cleared, but they will not deny us entry. Take me with you. Don't make me walk there. Don't make me walk there. Don't. You mean to follow the Heretics Trail then? I will see Sir Redwald is informed. Which is faster, I'm just gonna... North Rail. Ba-ba! Yeah! Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba! Come on, run faster, run faster, run faster! Do I have to go down? I feel like it's a down... Yes, that feels like a down area. can... Hey, I heard you're good at platform. No. Good at platform? No. It's an immediate no. What's wrong on that? We've begun serving the Warrens from the western entrance, but progress is slow. 'Twas seem not all the rats have left the nest. What ails our young lord? The moment we arrived at the wall, his face took on an ashen pallor. Does he fear facing the heretics within their own lair? I don't think he's killed anybody before, besides that animal. Do you recall the first time he ventured into these tunnels in search of Lady Iceheart? It seems ages ago, does it not? Back then, I still believed myself commander of the Crystal Braves. Oh, sweetie, is that what it is? An instance, guests of the House of Full Tops, accompanied by the Azure Dragoon, no less. I'm gonna give up. Cannot imagine what brought you out this far, but you're welcome to enter the tunnels if it's your will. Assuming that off beacon still functions, we must pray to the 12 it does. We shall arrive at a destination in mere moments. Though I do not expect to be greeted by the primal Shiva, you say that, we should nevertheless prepare for a frosty reception. The heretics are not like to rejoice at the appearance of uninvited guests, particularly ones of our history. Me? Murder them? Nah. Oh, it cools the hearth, but if you're into temperature play, that's completely okay. An impressive structure. I wonder how many ages it has endured. Mayhaps you should ask its occupants. They seem like a friendly bunch. I mean... they're happy to see us. Dogs of Ishgard, is it not enough that you banish our beloved saint? Will you not be satisfied till the ice is slick with the last drops of our blood? Say your weapons. We come under the flag of parley. We only wish to speak to your mistress, so that we might broker her peace. You think us fools, boy? It'll take more than 100 words to earn our trust. You walk with the Dragon Slayer, and we all too know, well, what he is capable of. And I'm just here, not as a dragoon at all. My reputation precedes me. Mine does not, apparently. They give us a little choice. Come, my brothers, may dragon wings bear us to victory. Pain waving. No, wait, we didn't come here to fight! I mean, I kinda did, but I mean, the words there deaf to reason.
Your guard is down.
Is my guard down? I was talking about. You'll be fine, Alvino. I believe in you. They're lizards! They're lizards! Seven hells. Can Drago... I mean... Who is I'm not his guardian! They get bigger. Bowing for Finn. Keep healing yourself. And everything will be fine.
Folly.
You're just gonna keep going.
Focus. Release!
Wrong button. Sorry, I'm being distracted by, dragons. Very bad dragons. Take that as you will.
Oh.
Yes, they fight like demons. 'Tis death to remain. Fall back, brothers. Retreat to the cinders. Say that louder so we know where you're going. No sign of Lady Iceheart. What would we have the question one of them? What would you have asked if that we do not know already? They make for the cinders, so must we. Even should an ambush await us, 'tis certain there will be no more heretics to question. Oh, violence? The cinders, you say? I confess the name is unknown to me. Mayhaps you would be so good as to enlighten us, Istinian. I suspect it's the heretic's way of referring to the Dreaming Dragon, an island of sorts found in the midst of the frozen lake of Ashpool. Some 500 years past, it's told that the Azure Dragoon of the age fought a dragon of titanic proportions. After a savage struggle, the mighty creature was weakened to the point of death and was forced into a magic slumber by the entire chapter of the Holy Sea's sorcerers. Good that we aren't awakening anything we shouldn't be awakening. Ere long, a rain of ash and cinders did fall upon the sleeping serpent's motionless body, covering the creature in length in a shroud of gray. Of course, a thick layer of ice has since formed on top of it, but you may be sure I speak the truth. No angry dragon. Fascinating tale. We should make haste to this Ashen Island. Only a land where the wars raged for thousands of years could enough ash fall to bury a dragon the size of an island. What? You driven off the heretics? That surely should ease the minds of our surveyors. Surveyor? Thanks for reading the tales of their rat infestation. With any luck, I should be able to finally carry out my work uninterrupted. Ready? Alright, yeah. The Dreaming Dragon lies far to the west. Before we approach the Frozen Beast, however, there's another place I would visit first. I am told the convictors have set up camp in the Twin Pools. Their leader, Genilot, may have information for us to use. Ah, but mayhap you're not familiar with that name, either. The convictors are dragon slayers, after a fashion, but I'm willing to wager they encounter their fair share of heretics. If we are to indeed walking into a trap, I would learn all that there is to know of our foe. A sound suggestion. Let us speak with these convictors, then temper our haste with a measure of caution. Ah. All the way over here isn't. Yep, I'm absolutely. Actually, it'd still be faster if I ran. Since it's not. Running. Running, 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 running. We'll make it there eventually. I believe in making it there eventually. At least it isn't being licky licked by a toad. Or Glenn, six battle lasts too often, they find themselves something else. Yeah, but you don't know where that tongue be. Like, what is also is licked. Well, what do we have here? Hoping to join the esteemed ranks of the convictors, are we? No. Hard-eyed last looks promising, but you have a frail look about you, boy. I'll give you 3 days in your wild to claim your corpse. I beg your pardon? See, that's why he's not old enough for me yet. Be not so quick to judge. I've seen this frail young youth fail heretics with a flick of his wrist. All bonding. And who are you to question my... By the Fury! That armor, that lance, the Azure Dragoon himself graces our camp, and I'm just Chop Suey over here, not a lancer at all. You know. Right. That name is me. Pray forgive my disrespect, sir. I am Jalot, leader of the Convictors and fellow slayer of dragons. May I ask what winds, fair or foul, carry you to our camp? Humble camp. I will not make fair or foul. Don't make a Macbeth reference, don't make a Macbeth reference. Lady Iceheart, is it? I know her by your reputation, but I'm afraid I've seen naught of her or her people. That said, my own men can be somewhat lax when it comes to making reports. You may wish to question them yourselves. Thank you, we shall, because you can't do anything, can we? I mean, you talk, like, he'd more likely talk to you, the commander, about whether they have reports that they haven't been making. Ishnai, Estinian, let us make our way through the camp and see what information there is to be had. Ah! I may have erred in seeking the wisdom of these whelps. At least you admit it. Eager to the information on the heretics. Surely one of these people will encounter the heretics while out hunting. Pray speak to as many as you can, Ishnai. They seem to think that I am good with words. I am not, as you can tell with these streams. While I confess somewhat tedious business, one of these people may have valuable knowledge that will save us days of searching. Autistic person. Nay, I know of no heretics. You honestly expect me to keep track of every Radamex, Vermont, and Bernaton that wanders in and out of camp? Are there any heretics in the area? I haven't not the faintest idea. Why a heretic could pass under my very nose, and I should know none the wiser. I hunt dragons, my dear lady, big ones. Forever do I scan the sky for signs of my prey. I care not for the miserable creatures that scurry upon the ground. Pain. Looking for heretics, you say? Why don't you go bother Harry Quit for someone? I have enough trouble keeping these preening fops fed and clothed as it is. 'Tis no business of mine what folks do with themselves when they're out in the wilds. Something I can help you with, milady? I don't know why that accent decided to go. Heretics is it? Well, I've never seen one myself, but I ain't say I haven't heard a thing or two. We would be grateful for any information you can share with us. Gods know we've gleaned precious little from talking to the rest of these people. Alphino? If it pleases me, Lord, I am Periquet. A soldier by trade, though not much of one, if I'm honest. If it weren't for the love of stabbing folks, I took up the spear, you see? No, it was ordered by Jean Tilot's father. Still, as long as they keep paying me wages, I ain't fussy what they have me do. Not everyone's as patient as me, though. Plenty of low-born lads who get pressed in service start grumbling before they've seen their second battle. And once they've got into their heads how thinking it fair it is and all, doesn't take much for the heretics to turn their heads. From what I hear, the simple promise of freedom tends to do it. That may explain how Lady Iceheart was able to expand her following so swiftly. Sad to say, some mates of mine gobbled down the heretics' tripe and asked for seconds. Told me they were off to the Western Highlands to light a signal fire. That's how you let the heretics know you're serious about joining their ranks, apparently. Send up some purple smoke and those bastards come to you. Is that so? Why then, I am mine to start a fire. My pyromaniac side is absolutely agreeing. Whether or not it's for a purpose or not. I mean, it's storyline purpose, but I mean, like I said, I'd be happy to do it without. Lady must be a warrior of some renowns. Keep with the company of the likes of the dragon as Azure Dragoon. Me, I'm lucky to last 3 heartbeats with some of them big nasty Dravians. Yes, Azure Dragoon and I am chopped liver. I may not be familiar with the building of signal fires, but how difficult could it possibly be? Oh, sweet child. Estinian wishes to prepare a signal fire to lure the heretics. If we are to lure their foes to our position, then we must find a means of producing a signal of purple hue. As it so happens, I once heard of a tale of a trapper who dropped the hide of a woolly yak into his campfire. Aside from the terrible stench, the story also described in detail how the smoke from the smothered flames was tinged deep violet. You're a monster hunter of some note, are you not, Ishnai? I mean, both in this game and then actual Monster Hunter game. It should prove a trifling task for you to procure a number of hides. We may need to burn more than one, ere the heretics notice our beacon. Master Alphanode, you and I shall gather wood for the fire. I will take both of us to find enough dry fuel in this frozen wasteland. Let us meet again at the Dreaming Dragon with the fruits of our labor. Purple flame, purple flame. Yep. God damn it. I'm not joining this fate, though. I picked the wrong way down, but at least I'm down now. Hi! I am... Why can't I just shave him? He looks woolly enough that I could just shave him and he'll be, you know... Over here. go back up? Yeah. Do 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 do. I swear I hear this song in my sleep. Ba 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 ba. Yeah, da 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 da. I hear the song even though nothing is playing ever. Ha ha ha. I hallucinate this song. Please save me. Please save me. Ah. That does look badass, though. The bird! Burb. What are you doing, Burb? I left Ishgard on a mission of noble purpose. Now here I am scrambling for sticks in the snow. How can my hands be at once so numb yet so sore? But seeing that collecting firewood is a new experience for Master Alphino. You must have a privileged upbringing. I know, right? Have you hides we need? Anybody else where to go? Yeah, he's used to having wood in his hand, but I mean...
I should have known it would be you.
Step on me, step on me, step on me, step on me!
Word reached me of a struggle with a small but well-armed band of trespassers. Forgive my comrades their hostility. Few come here uninvited, and fewer still with good intent. Now, tell me why you are here.
Want you to step on me, I mean... We wish to speak with you.
So, you seek to stem the Dravanian tide with talk? A romantic notion.
Do you have any better idea?
If you but knew the truth, the spark which lit the flames of this animosity, you would understand the futility of your quest.
Nah, I'm main protagonist, it's fine.
Shall I relate it to you? The sordid history my gift has shown me. That which the Holy See has taken such pains to suppress.
Oh, it's fine. I don't have the echo anymore, so go ahead.
"'Twas more than a millennium past when an Elizan tribe first sought to claim the lands of Kurthas as its home. Unfortunately for them, Kurthas was already home to dragonkind, and they were not inclined to make way for the invaders. Thus did a bloody war begin. A war which might well have rumbled on until one or the other side was exterminated, had it not been for the resolve of a single woman.
But I am a single
That
woman
woman's
too!
name was Shiva. While those around her fought and died, she attempted to parley with the dragons, and in so doing discovered them to be possessed of profound intelligence and reason. The great worm, Hraesvelgar, in particular so enchanted Shiva that she found herself growing to love the creature, whom her people considered a monster. In the eyes of a near-immortal dragon, however, the fleeting life of an Elizan is as that of a freshly cut rose. Scarce has the flower bloomed before it begins to fade and wither. Such melancholy musings plagued Hraesvelgar, who had found in Shiva an unexpected and beloved soulmate.
Yeah?
He knew that all too soon, death would snatch her away from him.
Hey, if you drink dragon blood, does that mean that she stays longer?
Unable to bear the thought of their separation, the maid bid the worm consume her, that their spirits might be entwined for eternity.
Dvor, ew!
Though loath to perform the deed, Hraesvelgar ultimately gave in to her plea, And soon thereafter, the tale of their ill-fated love spread throughout the two warring
really?
factions. No more could they raise blade or claw against one another, knowing that the souls of their kin were so inextricably bound.
I mean, you could also get, you know, in trouble and, you know, reported on for that.
In the days that followed, man and dragon learned to live in harmony, and together built a nation unlike any the world had ever known. For 200 years did this blissful age of peace continue, as it would to this day, had vilest envy not stirred in the hearts of the Elezen. It is said that worms owe their longevity to the boundless reserves of vitality found within their eyes. And 'twas in this belief that a traitorous band of knights deceived their allies of some 2 centuries, and took by force.
No, she got
that
eaten
which
by
they
a dragon,
coveted.
and not in the sexy sex way.
Nidhogg, he who now stands poised to unleash his wormlings upon Ishgard, was the great dragon who lost an eye to Elezen treachery. And until he prizes it from the hands of the traitor's progeny, no amount of conciliatory words will stay his fury.
You are wrong, Lady Iceheart.
I think it's been pretty popular for years. I mean, think of how many tales long ago still had, you know, dragons taking pretty maidens.
Lest you misunderstand, I do not doubt your vision of the past. 'Tis true that Nidhogg greatly desired to reclaim the Eye. Indeed, it was for that very reason that I kept it with me as I roamed the land, attempting to draw him away from the city.
Good gods!
No, good dragon eye.
Until recently, Nidhogg seemed unable to resist its allure and pursued me relentlessly. Needless to say, that is no longer the case. Now, it would seem, he has fixed his attention on Ishgard itself, though he knows full well the Eye does not reside there.
You believe he targets the capital for another reason?
Hence,
I believe reason has all but left him. Through the Eye, I feel much of what Nidhogg feels, and the dragon's thirst for vengeance will not be quenched by aught less than a sea of blood.
If Nidhogg is indeed lost to
if it
reason,
if it glowed that much,
we
people
not
might
seek
have
an audience
questions.
with Hraesvelgr instead? He has thus far shown no inclination to aid in the invasion of Ishgard, and may yet welcome our efforts to broker a peace.
You still believe that a peaceable solution can be found? Very well. I will take you to him.
Well, having a
road
glow
will lead
stick
us
won't
to
last that
Travania,
long.
the homeland of dragonkind. There we shall ascend unto the clouds, where Hraesvelgr resides.
I mean, I've already been to the Sea of Clouds, but go on. My chest is glowing! Oh my god, maybe I have the glow stick in my chest. I have regained some of my power!
Is autumn mist, my friend? I sense the many battles are beginning to take their toll. Rest a while. And should you lose sight of us, Dravania lies beyond the mountains to the west.
Y'all always leave me behind anyways. Yeah, just the occasional heart. Oh, yeah, they just keep walking away from me like.
Curious. The vestiges of thy mistress's blessing are not as faint as once they were. Thy will to succeed grants thee unusual fortitude. But will it be enough?
Yes, because I don't know when to quit. Except when I quit in cutscenes. And be, you know, defeated in cutscenes. You see, to journey to the homeland of dragons, Ishnai, the scholar within me burns to see the sights that I have read about, but as is the child within me, I confess. Be on your guard, warrior of light. With the mistress of the heretics as our guide, we may yet find that we're being led to our graves. As long as she steps on me somewhere along the way. Your Ishnai, yes? Pray, address me as Sail, if you wish. 'Tis this passing strange. Yeah, it's not that the fate should. Well, I have to do a bunch of quests. Like, I found all the Aether things for this map here, but now I have to do the quests, which of course I'd only do them on stream. Never did I think I'd walk alongside the Warrior of Light. But history is full of unexpected alliances. Shall we make our way into Dravian then? The chill of the western highlands is unrelenting. I will sooner be under the shelter of the canopy of the Chocobo Forest. Oh, that's probably what I'm going to do Sunday. Well, a part of Sunday. Oh, it's right. I can't teleport to... Fine, game! Teleport directly there, but no. Where the Chocobo roams. Hilarious how quickly the weather changes in these areas. Oh my god, greenery, what's this bullshit?
Beyond Abalathia's spine, the great mountain range that spans the continent of Aldenard from east to west. Into the deepening shadows of Som-Al, where lies the ancient home of dragonkind. To a land where the soil slithers and the skies seethe with sinuous shapes, they came.
Kinky? This forest was mentioned in the pages of the New Eorzean Geographic. As I recall, the author advises travelers to give the local chocobos a wide berth. According to her, they can be remarkably aggressive. You sense them, Ishnai? The gathering of dragons to the west? Oh, you're recognizing that I'm also an Azure Dragoon at random times. We now stand on the threshold of Dravian. The path to Som-Al will take us far to the west beyond the embrace of the forest's branches. It'll be a long and demanding journey. Might I suggest we take our rest at the village up ahead and see that we are properly provisioned. There's a village here? But I thought these lands were the sole domain of the dragon kind. Why would anyone choose to live in so perilous a place? Wild chocobos. Tailfeather was built by hunters who make their living capturing and selling the beasts. Their leader, Malchant, is an acquaintance of mine. Being a gregarious sort, he'll no doubt welcome our arrival. And he will also possess more recent knowledge of the road we seek to travel. I trust there are no exceptions? Only to this ceaseless chatter. If we are going to meet this acquaintance of yours, let us do it before Ishgard burns. Yeah, this could actually be something that we could talk and walk about, but I mean... Finish this quest here, and then I'm gonna go get some more food. And then nom nom. Pizza. We have pizza tonight. Side. I used to work as a pizza delivery person. I never got tired of pizzas. Well, tan my hide and call me a Leatherface. We have visitors. Oh, and if ain't lovely your style. It's been too long, girl. This is Marchand. That it has. My companions and I are on a pilgrim to Somal. Might we stay in Telfeather a while and prepare for the next leg of our journey? Of course, of course. Stay as long as you like. In fact, I wouldn't mind suggest leaving the forest at all. The dragons have been absolutely bleeding murderous of late. Forgive me, sir, but I'm not sure I understand. Do the dragons not bother you here in the forest? Bother us? Did Ysel not explain things to you, boy? You see them towering calma trees all around us, all about, haven't you? If you are flying above the canopy, you can barely see be able to see the ground. As you expect, the local wildlife's canny enough to stay hidden beneath the leaves, which is why dragons do their best their hunting elsewhere, and we can do ours in peace. I see. Thank you for the explanation. You're welcome. Now, I know it won't stop Ysel here, but the dragons ain't the only things you need to keep an eye out for, especially if you set out heading west. To be fair, the Mughals are bitches too. I mean, he is new to this world. This is not his continent. I'm glad to see Marchand is doing better. I've read widely of the world and its wonders, yet after taking but a few steps into the unknown, I am reminded how much I still have to discover. These hunters scrabble in the shadows of dragons for naught but the love of coin. Greed inspires courage and madness in equal measure, it seems. Yes. Anyways, I will be right back. back with more pizza! Here you go. Okay. Worse than dragons. Red Honk would give you a fair warning about what awaits to the west. There, so you're wondering what could possibly be worse than dragon? I'll tell you, the bloody Nath. They're what you get if you cross an antling with a mega crab and taught the thing to walk on 2 legs. Fun! They never used to stray far from their hives out of fear of dragon, but they've gotten a lot more aggressive of late, sending out war parties for moms in all directions. So a beast tribe, cool. They've been taken to harassing the Dravians in their own lairs, if you can believe it. And when they venture into the forest, which is more and more, by the way, they certainly aren't afraid to come after my lot. You can only imagine how much worse it'll be closer to the Nat's home territory. Fun. It seemed that much has changed in Dravian. The Nath were wont to cause strife when I lived here. You lived here in Dravian? Did she stutter? Aye, 'twas in the time following the calamity. My family was dead, my home was gone, and I had fled from the bitter cold into these lands. I knew not the paths of the forest then, and wandered out from under the protection of its boughs. That is when I chanced upon... He descended from his mountain lair to hunt for food. My exhausted mind could not contend with the sight of a majestic worm. Lord, the vision of the past, his presence visited upon me. It found my unconscious form at the edge of the trees and nursed me back to health. And in Tailfeather I remained for some time. It's your familiarity with the locals. But I interrupted you. You were saying these Nath were once a peaceful people? Peaceful would not be the most fitting description. They are a fiercely territorial tribe, and any who intrude upon their domain are attacked without hesitation or quarter. Outside the border of their homeland, however, they were rarely hostile. Indeed, we are even able to trade with them on occasion. It's as if... And I'm going out on a limb. Knowing how the Asians work, they might have summoned a primal. That's why they become so brazen. They've changed then. What of it? We have not the time to creep through the underbrush on some roundabout route. I say we make straight for the Somme Isle and crush any unruly insects we meet underfoot. A more direct path then? Very well, let us first follow the trail west out of the forest to make for the statue of the Stained One. From there we should have a fair view of the road that leads to Somme Isle. Shall we? I don't know, shall we? Bum. discovered a new location! Woo! Ooh, a location to fight things! Woo! Yeah. This is my character. Yeah. The cat girl goes, yeah. Bandersnatch. Ah, any references to Alice in Wonderland? So I'm guessing I get to defeat more foes. Luke, Ole. Just kill everything! Worse than dragons? I think they aren't. But that's just a matter of opinion of how quickly they're falling. Guess I'm gonna have to attack that one because it's gonna look over at me and say I'm gonna attack you first, right? Oh no, I made it out. Don't Genshin me where I die during a cutscene. Did we chance meeting Machamp again? Remind me to thank him. Had he not warned us to expect the gnat, I doubt I would be standing here. Well, maybe if you kept up with me. Amidst the ruins that I would tentatively describe as Asgardian, the style, if not quite identical, berates a definite resemblance. You have a scholar's eye, Master Alphino. This structure is in fact over 1,000 years old, the remnant of the age where our ancestors and dragonkin lived together in peace. You claim this is evidence of our harmonious past? I was taught that these buildings were constructed by heretics in honor of your Dravian masters. This rebel inspires no such awe in me. Stubborn fool, how desperately you cling to your false teachings of your beloved Holy See. Enough, both of you! You threaten the success of our mission with this incessant squabbling, children. Ishnai, pray reason with these two. I am autistic! Do not expect me! Grunt. The truth of the past will be revealed. Wait, lest you forget, our goal is to prevent war, which claimed the lives of Dravians and Ishgardians alike. If we are to accomplish this, you must learn to tolerate each other's presences. Trust in Ishnai's gift. You shouldn't? In time, the secrets of history will be brought to light. Let that be enough, Vestinian. You would have me keep my counsel until Ishnai's visions confirm true? Very well, but bait me not. How about masturbate? I can't! Our meeting with the dragon will most likely provide the catalyst Ishnai's gift requires, as it did mine. Let us press on. Go to a corner for that comment. He said don't bait me, and then my response was masturbate because I am a child at heart. Well, 12-year-old at heart that can't seem to, you know, stop with the bad jokes. Dragons in the skies, gnats upon the ground. One must need sprout eyes in the back of one's head to survive this land. I mean, you don't make it all day, just part of the day. At least once an hour, maybe more. These Atmen are born to bring their war to the dragon's doorstep. Mayhap we should invite them to man the walls of Ishgard. I want to survey the approach of different You spy the three towers to the west. Ishgardians know them as the Axon Shrine. The place serves as a roost for his lesser kindred. If we are to reach the peak of Somal, then we must beseech these dragons to open the way. But do not be disheartened. The one who leads them is a friend. Or rather, more concerned is the deposition of the Nath. Let us survey our approach to the tower and see if the path is clear. I mean, I'm okay with killing bugs. Also, I have a feeling, and there's a good feeling behind this. Like I said, with the Asian stuff, meddling and everything is... I kinda like that design. Is they've summoned a primal. And the dragons are gonna make us get rid of them. As you do. Yeah, I kind of like that design. Cool. White work for the dragoon. Eh, it kind of does. Probably run over and grab the... Unless I am incorrect on how the map is. Give me a second to see. Ba-ba-ba! Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Bounce. 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 Moo to you too! Moo to you too! Moo. Avonian. I guess that's a reference to Avalon. The Nath are fast becoming a nuisance. They seem to plague our every step. I mean, I didn't see any on the way over here. Past that other point. But seem the enemy of mine enemy is also my enemy. As I feared, the road ahead is teeming with Nat soldiers. Erchomp did not exaggerate then. These beastmen have grown brazen indeed if they have threatened the dragons so openly. though they intend to assault the lair itself? I pray they do not. Mighty though my Dravian friends are, they are yet vulnerable to Nast's muskets. I mean, why didn't, you know, the Isguardians use that? Hey, Drunk Vulture, how you doing? What were you playing? And hi, Apocalypse, how are you? Persona Saga left off at the cliffhanger. Fun! Torture your viewers, why don't you? Best way to do things, right? Ah, it's a kink. Got it. Mistress Drunk Vulture knows what she's doing. Literal edge look. Yeah, totally. Haro does not know what he walked into. We're just talking about, you know... I was like, maybe. We were just talking about Mistress Drunk Vulture, you know? Ah, damn. Gotta wait till he's listening about this, right? The greater dragon approaches. A scale of the structure is nothing short of astounding, but only to be expected, I suppose, given the size of its occupants. True. It's a chocobo! Stone bears a striking resemblance to a chocobo. Oh, really? On closer inspection, this stone appears to be a large horn. Perhaps if you were to blow into one of its holes. Do we have to say blow into one of its holes? It would summon a chocobo, though it may be prudent just to leave a rental fee just in case. Ah! The bestiality. Take no pleasure in killing the Nath. 'Twas to avoid bloodshed I agreed to join you on this journey. Well, it cannot be helped. We may proceed into the courtyard together, but leave the task of hailing its occupants to me. And keep your lance on your back, Dragoon. Why are you looking at him? I'm also a Dragoon. I am in Dragoon class. On my word to the Warrior of Light, who's also a fucking Azure Dragoon, I shall start no fight, only finish it. Yours is truly beyond salvation. Come then. I mean, I hide my lance. Don't get me wrong.
Vidofnir!
Ah, 'tis thee, little one. From above I did mistake thee for a Nath. 'Tis well I chanced to look again, or thou wouldst now be ash.
He's wearing blue and has white hair. Where above would you think? She looked like a Nath. Nath are this brownish reddish color. I think I would understand if you mistaken me as that. Of course, they suspect nothing.
Dear Vidofnir, how I have missed you. Would that I had come sooner. and not out of dire necessity.
Oh, we've already made the joke that I am also 12. When Estinian made the joke of "you shall not bait me," and my immediately response was masturbate.
Thou art troubled. Speak that I might know thy plight. Thou wouldst have father admonish his brood brother.
I would end this war without further bloodshed.
How am I to believe thee, little one, when thine own companion beareth Nidhogg's stolen eye?
Aye.
Have care, dragon, or I shall gouge out one of yours.
Estinian, please.
You forget yourself, sir. We are here on a mission of peace.
Yeah, don't make me hit you again, Estinian. I won against the last fight you.
My sires will forbiddeth me from inviting discord to our home. 'Tis for this reason and no other that thou still drawest breath, knight.
Vidofnir, please. We must be allowed to convey our intentions to Hraesvelgar in person, with words of our own choosing. Grant us this favor, and open the way to Som Al.
Thou hast ever been welcome, little one. But I cannot grant thy wish. I am bound to remain here, and protect my kin from the Nath's god.
Oh, you mean a primal?
The Nath have summoned a primal.
Oh, good that I am here, slayer of primals.
Pray excuse my forwardness, but if we were to eliminate the threat to your territory, would you consent to Lady Izel's request?
Ha! Dost thou imagine thyself equal to the task? To succeed where dragons have failed?
Yes.
'Tis beyond thee, mortal. But thou art welcome to try, nonetheless. Only know that idle promises shall avail thee naught.
Murder! Murder! However, I will go over there and grab that Etherite.
It would seem we have no choice but to make good on Alphino's offer. Why must our every bid for peace breed yet more war?
I mean, they started it, at least when it comes with the primals. No, let me phrase that. The Asians started it. I'm probably gonna hate how the pants look. Not that bad either. Doesn't work very well with the the shoes, but I mean, once more Primal rears its head, and once more the task of flaying it falls to you. I know, right? You're not gonna join me, are you? By the Fury, must we now defeat a Primal that we must treat with a worm? I do begin to see how you gained your reputation for surmounting the unsurmountable odds. I mean, I do mount a lot of things. All seems to be occupied with the Nath and the Primal. So the Nath have summoned their god, and thus the mystery of their newfound belligerence laid to rest. Are you not glad, Lady Iceheart? I thought you would applaud them for summoning a Primal to further their own ends. After all, you did, Estinian. Down, boy. I did not reach out to say Shiva to further my own ends. I desire her strength only to forge anew the peace between man and dragon. But what fool I am to speak peace to you, a bloodthirsty savage whose murder is without thought or compulsion. I am also an Azure dragon! I mean, dragoon. They can't keep... I mean, I don't do it completely, you know, without thought, but I mean, because murder is fun. So, enough I say. If the gnat is truly brought forth their deity from the aether, we must face it together or watch our hopes fall apart. All now rests upon this primal's defeat, that Ishnai is the only one that will do. But ere we think of confronting it, we must study its origins. What is the nature of this god? What is the matter of faith sustains its existence? My apologies. You're right, of course. Let's not make this any more straightforward, you know, game developers, and make us run 50 more quests before we can open it up. He knows more of the Nat than their culture than most. Then why didn't he assume that... You know... They might have, you know... Well, I guess not a lot of people know about primals as much. I mean, well, at least up in Ishgard it isn't as common in, say, the rest of Eorzea. Oh wait, I had to finish this. And I have to read this aloud also. Oh ho, back already. Met the Nath, did you? And what is it you like to murder their god? Summon a primal, you say? 7 hells. Well, I don't know bugger all about Nath religion, if I'm honest. Beyond their trading habits, there never seemed to be much point in asking. But should that be hard to find out? From time to time, we barter with a small hive to the north and west of here. Outcasts from the main tribe, from what I understand. I reckon they'll be willing to tell you a bit about themselves, if you give them the right incentives. No, dude. Sounds promising, and what exactly would a Nat consider the right incentives? Nothing your average hunter wouldn't scrounge up in a day or two. But seeing as you're in a hurry, you might want to divide the chores among yourselves. I know, right? You want a good-sized jar of land-trap nectar, a basket of Kalmatum tree fruit, and always a Nat's favorite, a generous portion of young Naka flesh. I shall gather the fruit, leaping into the lower branches of these forest giants should present little challenge to me. And I shall collect the nectar with Master Alphino's arcane assistance. At least bringing home the meat. Murder! Violence! You'll need to carve it from the smaller Naks that live in the forest, live in the rivers. 3 big hunks should do enough. Once you've got everything together, you'll need to set it down for what we call the trading post. Here, I marked the spot on your map. You're most kind, Master Marceton. Well then, let us attend to our respective tasks and reconvene at the trading post. I need hardly add that the last one there is a rotten egg. You'll be the last one there, won't you? I didn't get... You know, if I had flight, this would be so much easier, but no, I don't. There's a baby chocobo running around, still attached to its egg. See? It's right across there, but no! I have to go the... Let me run it. I'm a dragoon! I can jump over there! Why?